Hey guys, it's Sam from Props, and today I'm going to show you how I join my 3D prints together using Sabito's mask from Demon Slayer. Let's get started. Before I start welding the two pieces together, first I'll use super glue to attach the two pieces together. This just makes sure that it doesn't move while I'm welding. You can see here the print wasn't exactly flat. There's a little gap between the top and bottom half. So we'll use the 3D pen later to fill that in. To join pieces together, you'll need a soldering iron or a wood burner. I make sure to get the kits that include the angled tip, as it helps to smooth over the areas. I also use a 3D pen, which isn't necessary, but I like it because it melts all the filament and I have more control with it, which definitely helps when we need to go back and fill in that gap. You'll also need to wear a respirator, and please be in a ventilated area as melting plastic releases toxins, so please be safe and make sure you're wearing all the proper equipment. Heat up your iron and your 3D printer pen to the temperature that you print your filament at. I use PLA and have my printer set to around 200 degrees. This is important because too hot and you will melt and burn the filament. Once the iron is heated, slowly press down between the two parts on a slight angle to make a stitch. Make sure not to go all the way through, but deep enough that you can fill it with filament. Only do 1 to 3 stitches at a time so that the plastic is still melted and it will bond to the new filament that you are pushing in. You can leave about ½ an inch between each stitch. I found this is sufficient, but you can do more if it needs more strength. Now with your 3D pen, fill in the hole. If you don't have a 3D pen, place a piece of extra filament in the hole and melt it using the soldering iron. Keep repeating that until the hole is full. If you don't have a 3D pen, place a piece of extra filament in the hole and melt it using the soldering iron. Keep repeating that until the hole is full. Use the side of the tip to smooth out the top, including the area that the stitch isn't in. So the same technique is also used when filling in the gap. I use a 3D pen so I can get right into the crevice. Once the pen is in, I just start filling it up with more filament. And then once it's done, I'll use the soldering iron to flatten it all out. I was going to show filling in the gap, but I was totally out of frame. I've used many different methods for attaching 3D printed parts together, including superglue, JB Weld, and melting plastic together. Since most of my 3D prints are props and will get tossed around, I need the strength when attaching the pieces together. I've mainly landed on welding the pieces together in a sort of stitch fashion because I found that gives the print the most strength. Unfortunately, I can't use this on any prints that have LEDs in them, as you'd be able to tell where you welded the pieces together. I still use JB Weld and XCC 3D for those. I have had props break. I've been able to weld them together with this method, and it just becomes as strong as it was before. Accidents happen, especially at cons, so be prepared for something to break. All in all, I think this welding has been the strongest I've used so far, and that's why I've ended up with it. The more time that you take with smoothing out, the less sanding you will have to do. Also, you can do the back of your prop in this way. I just got lazy since it's a mask and it doesn't really need that much strength. Once the stitches are complete, sand and finish your 3D props the same way as usual. You will probably have to go over the stitch areas a few more times than the other areas to get it flat, but just remember that the more sanding and prep you do, the better the seam will be hidden. So to start with sanding, a little bit of Bondo because I sanded a little bit too much. And then I threw some XCC 3D on top because I had some left over from another project that I'm currently working on. I'm currently working on my first 3D printed armor. I only have been making props, so I'm excited to try something more challenging, although the sanding is kicking my butt. Let me know if you have any questions you want me to cover in upcoming videos. If you like this video, please subscribe for more like this, and don't worry, plenty of LEDs and 3D props will be on the way. And then more sanding, because 3D printed props equals sanding a little bit away. And then finally a filler primer to see all the spots I missed. This is another example that I've been recently working on with the stitch welding that I just showed you. Once I give it a white coat of paint, you can see that the stitches are pretty much gone and you can't really tell that it was printed in two pieces. And without further ado, here is the finished mask. This video helped you guys on how to attach 3D printed parts together. Let me know what you want to see in the next video, and stay tuned for a lot more swords coming. Till next time, bye!